This episode explores historical, cultural, and philosophical perspectives for educational purposes. The interpretations and opinions expressed are based on academic and historical research and are not intended to represent or criticize any modern government, individual, or belief system.
Okay, so let's jump right in. When you think about India, what's the first thing that comes to mind? The thing is, we're not talking about one single neat idea. We're talking about a civilization that's literally been built on arguments, on competing visions that go back thousands of years and are, believe it or not, still shaping its future today. So let's explore these powerful, enduring debates that really define the whole idea of India. We've got to start with probably the most famous vision for India, and it's summed up perfectly in this quote from Mahatma Gandhi. His whole philosophy of Satyagraha, nonviolent resistance, wasn't about being weak at all. It was about a deep, profound kind of strength. The argument was that you don't aim to crush your opponent, you aim to win them over, to appeal to their conscience and get to a just result. And right here, this is where the great argument of India's freedom struggle really kicks off. Because while Gandhi's path of nonviolence became the main story we all hear, it was fiercely challenged by other, equally brilliant and passionate leaders who were absolutely convinced that freedom had to be won in a totally different way. Now, this slide lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows two fundamentally different playbooks for freedom. On one side, you've got Gandhi's Satyagraha, and on the other, Subhas Chandra Bose, a super charismatic and militant nationalist who looked at World War II and saw a massive opportunity. His belief was simple: free India by any means necessary, and for him, that meant taking up arms and making alliances with Britain's enemies. This quote just perfectly captures Bose's pragmatic, no-compromise attitude. After this daring escape from house arrest in Calcutta, he traveled all the way to Germany and then to Asia. He eventually led something called the Indian National Army, fighting against the British, side by side with the Japanese. For Bose, the enemy of his enemy was his friend, plain and simple. But here's the thing. This whole conflict over the right way to do things, it's not just some modern political squabble. It's a debate with roots so deep, they go right into the bedrock of Indian civilization itself. So this is the really crucial question, isn't it? Is this argument new? Was it just born out of the struggle against colonialism, or is it just an echo of a conversation that is much older? Well, the answer, as it so often does when you're talking about India, is hiding in plain sight, within its great epic, the Mahabharata. Now, at its core, it's a story about this catastrophic war between two sets of cousins, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, battling over a kingdom. But it's also this huge stage for arguments about duty, about justice, and about how to do the right thing in a really messed up world. And get this, even the epic itself is an argument. There's this fascinating academic idea called the inversion theory. It basically suggests that the version of the Mahabharata we have today might be the complete opposite of the original story. The theory goes that an earlier version actually glorified the Kauravas, the guys who lost, and that later on, priestly writers literally set the story upon its head to praise the Pandavas instead. It just goes to show you, in India, even the most sacred stories are up for debate. All right, let's shift gears. Let's look at the historical arena, where these ancient debates got a modern-day makeover: the British Empire. It created a whole new stage with brand new stakes for these very old questions about identity and power. Just look at this timeline. It shows you how incredibly fast the British East India Company went from being just a trading company to ruling a continent. And this process wasn't just about conquering land. It completely rewired India's political landscape. It forced a whole new set of arguments about what it even meant to be Indian when you're facing a foreign power. So, how'd they do it so fast? One of their key tools was the subsidiary alliance system. And honestly, it was basically a protection racket. Indian rulers would pay for company troops, but that protection cost them dearly. It wrecked their finances, messed with local politics, and in the end, it gave the British the perfect excuse for a complete takeover. The argument changed from who had regional power to how to fight national subjugation. But hold on, India's story isn't just one of political fights and empires. That's only part of the picture. Amidst all that chaos and change, there are these powerful, unbroken threads of cultural continuity that have been weaving the subcontinent together for thousands of years. This is what people call intangible cultural heritage. It sounds like a fancy term, right? But it's simple. It's not about buildings or monuments. It's about the living stuff, the traditions, the knowledge, the skills that get passed down from one generation to the next. These are the practices that give people a sense of who they are, a sense of continuity, and they often exist completely outside of all those political arguments. And this slide, wow, it gives you just a tiny peek into that incredible depth. You've got the Kumbh Mela, which is literally the largest gathering of human beings on the planet. You have the tradition of Vedic chanting, an oral history that's over 3,500 years old, and Kudiyattam, a Sanskrit theater tradition that's been performed for over 2 millennia. These aren't museum pieces, you know? They are vibrant, living traditions that connect today's India to a very, very deep past. So you've got this foundation of ancient arguments and these incredibly deep-rooted traditions. The big question is, how is India arguing for its own future right now? Let's bring this explainer right into the present day and look at the vision being built as we speak. And that vision has a name, Viksit Bharat, which basically translates to developed India. It's this hugely ambitious national goal to completely transform India into a developed nation by the year 2047. Why 2047? Well, that'll be exactly 100 years since its independence. And look, this isn't just talk. Check out this number, 155.4 million. Let that sink in for a second. That's the number of rural homes that got a tap water connection under the Jal Jeevan mission as of early 2024. It's an absolutely staggering figure that just shows you the sheer scale of the transformation they're attempting. This slide here breaks down some of the key parts of that vision. It's everything from providing absolute basics like clean water and sanitation to supercharging the economy with programs like Make in India. You could say these massive programs are the current government's central argument for how to build that future. A vision based on laying down a solid foundation to drive development all the way to Viksit Bharat. So we end up right back where we started. India is a nation forged in argument, held together by ancient traditions, and now racing towards a really ambitious future. The ultimate question is still out there. How will this civilization, with over 1 billion people, with its contested past and its incredible diversity, write the next chapter in its epic story?
Echoes of the past, visions of tomorrow.